All right, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the morning show, right? We are here. Ooh, looks like we got some way too much going on that mic. Back you down just a little bit. We are live right now. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, of course, over here. And we got a Zoom going right now. So just a heads up, we are doing things a little bit different today, as you can probably see and probably hear. I'm not in the studio today. I'm actually at the office at our church, Point of Mercy, and getting things set up, doing some things here today, and just didn't have time to bring any gear. So we're just doing this old school, but we are definitely glad that you are here. In fact, if you're here, leave us a comment. Let us know that you're here. We can definitely pick those up on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, everything but Instagram, I think. We got Mark Henderson on Facebook saying, finally remembered. Bro, what's up, man? Good to see you, Mark. Glad you're here with us. But basically, this show is all about helping you get your day started. All right? It's about people gathering with that same intention. We want to get together, right? We want to have some good conversations, talk about meaningful things, get fired up. We can talk about all kinds of things. We'll talk about faith, family, finance, fitness, fun, you name it. We're going to talk about some stuff, and it's super, super cool. Then he said, old school is better than no school. For sure, bro. For sure it is. And I'll tell you this, it's storming here in Nashville. So if it drops, you know what happened, man. You know exactly what happened. So anyways, I've also got my fantastic, I don't know, what should we call you? You're my co-host? I don't know, man. You are the morning show, Martin. You are the morning show.
Call me the morning shadow.
The morning shadow. Listen to this guy, man. Dude, I appreciate you being on here. How you feeling today?
I'm super, man. Just grateful to be on the other side of this guy green earth, you know?
Yeah.
6 foot above ground, as they would say.
Yes, sir.
6 foot above ground.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good start.
I heard one preacher. He said, "I'm glad to be seen and not viewed."
I love that.
I tell you, it was T.D. Jakes that said that. I heard that and I thought, dude, that's clever. I like that. Stolen. Anyways, so we're getting things started up. If you don't care, again, you're out there, leave us a comment. Just let us know you're here. And why don't you do us a favor? Share the show. Share this. Send this to somebody. Let them know that this is something that happens weekdays, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. And man, this is day 7 for us, right? This is episode 7. We've been going strong, making things happen, and man, just super exciting. Big week for the church globally, right? We're in Holy Week. We're moving towards Easter. Sunday. And I'll just tell you a little bit about our church here in Madison. We're a Point of Mercy church. And man, we've got an exciting weekend ahead. We've got a huge Saturday community event where we're going to have a huge Easter egg hunt. We're going to have inflatables, popcorn, concessions, like all of that stuff. Like whatever you think of when you think block party, it's there. All right. And it's going to be from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Get there, bring your kids, bring your family. It's going to be fantastic. 5,000 eggs is what I heard we're throwing out there. So lots of eggs, lots of opportunity. A lot of eggs are even going to have some money in them. Say Monet. All right. So you want to make sure you're a part of that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not the most important thing, but it's reasonably close to oxygen, right? You you gotta get it going, right? But it's gonna be a great day, followed by a huge Sunday gathering. Like, man, I'm just telling you right now, get ready for the greatest Sunday gathering you could possibly show up at. And if you're like, I don't know, like what does that even mean? Like, what's a Sunday gathering? Well, dude, you need to go find out. You need to check it out. If you've never been to a service, check it out. See for yourself, right? If you want to do some research and development, some R&D, go to one of our social accounts, kind of see what a Sunday looks like, but times that by 10. Anyways, it's going to be a great weekend. It's a great week for all of us. Very, very excited. You know, Martinez, yesterday, I got some very good feedback on our conversation about desire. What were some of your takeaways? But just for everyone else, we talked about desire, what desire is, where it comes from, how important it is for you to have a desire so you can start getting on track for where you want to be. But what were some of your takeaways from yesterday, bro?
I mean, quite a few, but I like the way we were distinguishing between desire versus want, and how and not to get in the detail of that, but also like how desire is like the building block of progress, of wanting more.
Right.
And that there, and in order to have more, there's a cost to more. There,
yeah.
You can say there's a cost to desire as well. It's like,
for sure.
Just that, it's like, and how desire could potentially be hampered out. It could be smothered by, just, giving people, all their wants, and giving people what they like, that, making it easy for people to have
right.
things. It suffocates desire,
Well, it goes back to this. How can you really know that's what you really want if you've never had to do something for it, right? Like it's almost like, God in his infinite wisdom was like, you know what? It's not good that you just get everything that you want. Sometimes you got to go and you got to prove what you want. You've got to be willing to endure. You got to be willing to, fight for it. Actually put some sweat equity. Might even have to put some time and money on that thing. Like whatever it is, like your desire is proven by your actions, and then simultaneously your actions help cultivate that desire, make it become more than what it is, right? To the point where it actually becomes an obsession. Like, dude, I'm obsessed. Like, you ever just seen people that are just obsessed with stuff? Like they just, you know what I'm saying? All they talk about is maybe it's their sports team, maybe it's their job, maybe it's their family. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not here to say like, hey, I'm not saying that in a bad way that you're obsessed. Like, if anything, as long as it's a good thing, it's probably a good thing to be obsessed about that thing. But the point is that just demonstrates how desire has turned into this, like, just desire becomes the fire, right? Like it's awesome. Right. It's awesome.
Desire does become a fire, and I tell you, the fruits of desire versus wants is entirely different. Like, for example, if you want something, the fruits of wants, it's just, it serves the person who wants it on the most part.
Yeah.
But the fruits of desire actually inspire others. Like, for example, like, if you like desire patience, right? You think God just gives you patience, or He gives you an opportunity to be patient, right?
That's a very good point.
And so like if He gives you the opportunity to be patient, and you take advantage of that opportunity to be patient, then guess what? People can see that, hey, this guy's being patient, this girl's being impatient, and that's a teaching moment for them.
Yes.
So it inspires them to be more like you as far as being patient. Somebody wants a better family. Oh Lord, I want peace in the family. I want a better family. You think He gives you a better family, or does He give you an opportunity to create a better family?
Right. Right.
And so the fruits of your desires, when you work toward, like in this example, being patient, or having a better family, or more savings, or whatever that desire is, that inspires others. That inspires like the family. It's more sustainable in the end.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Oh no, absolutely.
Versus want. If you I want this, I want that, so you get one. You get what you want. Okay, what purpose did that serve?
Right, exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like next. Now you just want something else.
Yes.
Now you want something else. But the thing about desire, there's building blocks, like you said. There's action. Do you really want desire? Okay, well there's a cost to it. There's going to be some discipline. There's going to be a putting away of some things. But the fruits of desire are so far more, long term, for not just you, but for others, or that you have influence with and on.
Right. No, dude, exactly. Like I have this picture in my head. There was a minister when I was a young person, really a student, and he talked about like people in your life. God will like, in fact, Pastor talked about it. He said, look, all of our personalities as a church, we're just going to take the church as an example. It's a great example. All of our personalities, it's impossible that all of our personalities are going to mesh. It's impossible, right? There's some people you're going to naturally get along with. Others, you actually might even conflict, okay? But I heard this one minister, he talked about it. He said, God puts some people in your life so that way, obviously, they're going to impart something to you that you enjoy. But other people in your life, they're almost like sandpaper, right?
Ouch.
They're abrasive. It hurts. But the truth is that sandpaper, you as God's work, that sandpaper is actually smoothing out your rough edges.
Boom.
You can't have patience unless your patience has been demonstrated. Therefore, you have to be in a situation, right? By the way, we've got some good comments. Kayla says, the Holy Ghost is a gift. The fruits of the Spirit have to be cultivated by us with the Holy Spirit. Exactly. So we have God's Spirit, but like take it to this place. God, Paul was talking about it with the example. He said, some plant, some water, but God gives the increase. So in other words, God is allowing us to collaborate with the work that He's doing in our lives. That's very good. Sister Violet, good morning to you. Hope you're doing great. And I hope Michael's doing good. I don't know if he's watching today, but Michael, man, been praying for you, buddy. Hope you're feeling better. Kayla then says, we work to decrease so God can increase, to align our wants with God's. That's exactly where it's at. The whole idea, the thing about desire, you kind of have to really sift out, is this a God thing, or is this a me thing? Is this like a holy divine thing, or is this like a fleshly kind of want thing? And to our pastor's point, and again, hey, look, I know we're kind of getting super faith whatever on here. This is just, I told you yesterday, I am who I am. It is what it is, right? But I am inspired. Woo! I'm inspired.
Yes, sir.
But the truth is, that's why you have to have that relationship with the Lord and really make sure you're hearing his voice, because, sometimes, man, you can let so many other voices in your life dictate the terms of your life, but those voices, they are setting a precedent. They're setting a lifestyle that God never intended for you to have, a burden for you to bear that God never intended for you to bear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there, that's what the scripture says, not just casting off the sin, but the weight, the stuff that's slowing you down in your race, right? Which is actually what I wanted to kind of come to. It's a great segue, because the thing that's really been echoing in my mind, kind of an area, by the way, this show, just so you know, this is not the show of Jason sharing what he's got together. I'll be honest with you. This is probably like confession time. This is probably what's on my radar of like, dude, you got to work on this area. Okay? You got to work on this area. And if you want to work on this area too, man, let's just work together, because the thing that's like really caught my attention from yesterday was focus. The need for focus. The example was just like a magnifying glass, right? I can literally take the energy, the rays of the sun, dial it in with a magnifying glass to where now it's a singular point that has so much energy pounding into it that I could literally start setting things on fire. Same energy is all around us. It's the same sunshine, but because I harnessed that energy into one singular point, I put all of it in one area, all of a sudden, combustion happens. Something changes in the environment. And I'm just like, dude, the power of focus. You know what I'm saying? Like the power of focus. I am not tapping into the power of focus. Because if I truly did, now granted, that the challenge of focus is, and Martinez, you jump in on this after I say this. The problem is, dude, I want everything in my life to be on fire. But I'm maybe I lack the patience to get one fire started. Because once the fire's going, right, it just needs to be stoked. But then I can now set my attention to another thing and then set that fire. And that, see what I'm saying? Like, do you see the power, the idea of where I'm trying to kind of help myself understand maybe focus in my life? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Like, I think you're spot on. I mean, like the opportunity to focus allows you to kind of kindle that fire, at least one fire in your life.
Yes.
And I would think like the more focus, I would suggest even just focusing on that fire to the point where that fire in and of itself has the momentum for you to kind of like not even manage. It's like self-managing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that fire is the fire that you use now that only comes through having focus, which was initiated by desire. Mm-hmm. You had to have the desire to have that fire, right? But in order to have that fire created, you had to focus. And so you get this fire, it's burning, and you know, and it's through the confidence of that sustained fire that you can light other fires.
Yes.
That you can start other things in your life. Too often, however, as it relates to myself, that is, you start a kindling over here, and you think you got a fire, and you run across town or across the room and try to start another fire, and mm-hmm. you kindle up here, and you look back, and your first fire that you thought you had going on, it's not a fire at all. It's been trampled out. You know?
It's just smoke.
You're kind of like running. You're kind of like running from this fire to this. You know. And yeah. And I use fire loosely. It's not even a fire; it's a kindle. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
You got the coals warm.
Yeah.
Some people think they got that coals getting warm is sufficient for fire being sustained in their life. You know?
Right.
So
Right.
and so like, but the thing about it is, it's like you're exactly right, man. It's like focus actually brings the fruit of desire about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you can't have anything without focus, which is another word for saying, I guess, discipline, not being distracted, whatever, you know.
Yeah, for
word
sure.
You want to use synonyms or whatever you want to use there, but
Absolutely.
you're all over it.
Like, and I'll tell you this, like, maybe, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes it's the, like, I think this goes, you know, I've always heard people say successful people are very decisive people. They make a decision and they stick with that decision. Like, I think that's probably one of the biggest hurdles in overcoming distraction, right? Is like, the truth is, like, dude, I want to, my point, this is important. This is important. I have all of these things that are important, but now because everything's important, nothing is important. Because at some point, if you put everything on the same level, you have no distinction. You know,
there's no priority.
There's no priorities. How in the world, right? How in the world could I do that? So, all that being said, I think there is this battle in focus to literally make a decision and be willing to run with that decision until you find out whether or not that decision was right or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard one guy, he said, dude, you know, if you're worried about making the right decision, you know, granted, take your due diligence. He said, but when you make a decision, run at it with everything you've got, because you're going to find out real quick. You'll find out quicker whether it was right or not.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Be all in.
Yeah, like go all in.
Yeah, and so, you know, I know we're talking about desire and focus, and so it's kind of like in the morning show here. How does this apply to our daily routine?
Yeah.
You know, how does this apply to us going to work, trying to bring home the bacon, trying to ensure our kids are in school and getting a proper education?
Yeah.
You know, and I would suggest like you know, the things, start with something small as far as desire. Maybe it's your desire to get a raise at work.
Yeah.
You know, well, what's that look like? Maybe that means you taking on more activities, more projects. Maybe that means you become, you know, being more, you know, in your boss's face about, hey, how can I help? Being more of a leader, being more outspoken, more out engaging. Maybe that means just coming to work on time. You know,
right.
Maybe
it might be that simple.
What's your desire out there, people? Like, what you know, is it work related? Is it self? Well, first of all of it's self related. You know, because you're bringing about, whether you're working on your, you know, a desire to be better, have a raise at work, whether it's a desire to lose 120 pounds or get your cholesterol down, or, you know, have a bigger house. It all comes back to self-development, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing about it is, it's like, what is it out there that you have a desire to do this week, this day?
Yeah.
This, you know, this year, you know, what is it?
Right. And you know what? There is this level of like, dude, there is a fear. I don't even want to say it, but fear is probably the wrong word. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is the right word. But like, to set a course and to stay a course. Because it goes back to the whole, you know, you got to prove that you want it. You got to prove that you believe it. You got to prove, right? Because when you set sail, the question is, what are you going to do when somebody says, hey, I don't know about this direction.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're like, you know, instead of forward looking, you're like, I don't know, maybe you are right. And I'm not, and again, there's a nuance to this. But I will tell you this, something that I think like just in time, maybe this is a time thing. Like I'm starting to find myself, my new self, so to speak, in this newer decade. Like I'm still in my young 30s. And so I look backwards, and maybe you can speak into this, Martinez, on our final word, but I can look backwards now that I've got some experience under my belt. And there are moments when in my gut, I knew what to do. And I have examples of the gut, I did it, it was right. My gut, I didn't listen to it, and it didn't go well. And so the point of that is sometimes when you know, right? There is a subtle, like Pastor is phenomenal with it. That's probably where I've learned this from. He is phenomenal. Like when he says that we're going to do something like with this definitive, like moving to this building, like, bro, I can't even tell. Like he literally said, he came home and he said, we're moving. We are? We are. I have no idea where. I don't know. I'm telling you. It's in my gut. It's in my spirit. Mm-hmm. Just get ready. Mm-hmm. And bro, everything fell into alignment. Everything, right? And I'm not saying like you can't be wrong. I'm not saying that, but there is this nuance when you, and again, I feel like it's listening to the voice of the Lord and really like honing in on that. Like when you know, and you're going to have people like, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Like the how people, don't worry, just focus in. Final thoughts.
Well, the Bible talks about and I'm paraphrasing, it says something about, and you've already said it, you set your affections on the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart.
Right, right.
And so all I'm trying to say is it relates to desires, as you mentioned yesterday, they come from above. And so
yeah,
the context of desires is a good thing on the most part as it relates to, because it's bringing, if you would commit to the desires and make it a working process, it's going to bring out a better you.
Yeah.
And the thing about desires, it's not too, they're kind of like sisters to passions,
Mm-hmm.
And once you get a desire or a passion, what happens is like the momentum of such actually kind of immunes you from the people or the questions of how can you do it, or should I do it, or is it possible, that kind of thing. It insulates you when you have a desire / passion. It what happens is you begin to pick up momentum to doing things that you ordinarily would not think yourself able to do. So I said that to say this: have a desire, commit to it, and then on top of that, don't sell yourself short. You have what it takes to bring that desire to fruition. It's going to take unity. It's going to take you putting away some things, and when I say unity, you could be an army of one, like,
right.
The unity is a made up mind,
dude, that
unity
for sure it is.
In a mind that's made up,
yeah.
You ain't got to get buy-in. If Job had to get buy-in from his wife, it'd be a different story altogether,
Right.
And I'm not saying, don't bring in your wife if you're there married. And I'm just saying.
Is Robbie next to you right now? Are you backpedaling? I'm tagging her right now. Robbie Martinez said he's going to do whatever he well pleases to do.
It'll be the last morning show I'll ever do. That's
awesome.
I'm saying unity comes from being made up mind, not being split.
Yeah, man.
Being like, hey, should I or shouldn't I? Just, set your course and go for it and believe in yourself and know that desire, it comes from above. You know,
That's right.
it is a there it is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you know, and so that's all I gotta say. You know, once you set course, you will be immune from like, how can I do it? You just put your feet in motion, and what happens if before you know it, you won't ever be compassing that mountain ever again. You know, you'll just be on your way to the promised land of, you know, you being a better person or having better things in your life.
Yeah.
That's a little bit long there for final thoughts there.
I like it though, man, because dude, it's perfect. It's perfect. But that being said, we are over on time. We got to wrap this up, get to our day. Listen, I hope that this found you well. If it did, do us a favor, share this video, let people see it later. Why don't you leave when you share the video, don't just share it, but like write an endorsement, right? Maybe even tag us in to it, you know, give us a nugget, give us a one-liner, do something, because dude, we want to get people fired up. We want people fired up to get going, to do what God's called them to do. It's the morning show. I hope that you now are well on your way to making today the best day you've ever lived. Again, we're live Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, which by the way, I've never had this before. I got 55 roses on TikTok. I don't know what that means, but that's pretty cool. And then we got our Zoom, got our POM Academy students. What's going on? We're getting ready to hop into a Zoom with them, get them well on their way for school and for testing. It's going to be fantastic, fantastic. But anyways, everyone have a blessed day. We'll catch you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for the morning show. Catch you later. Oh, no, don't end the stream. See, I messed up my cut. Try it again. Boom.